Hi, welcome to episode 310 of your favorite daily podcast, a couple of things, a podcast about things. Today, I'm going to be talking about making a career change. I'm not going to be giving advice on how to make a career change. I'm going to be talking about me currently in the process of possibly maybe making a career change and what careers I'm considering. So this topic is brought to you by a question that I've been asked about 2 or 3 times in the past couple of days about what I want to do when I finish my master's. If you're not listening to this podcast for the first time, you probably already know that I am in school doing a master's. I've been doing UX research for about 8 years or thereabouts, and I've been working in tech for 10 years or more already. And I've been feeling like I wanted to do a switch for quite some time now. And which is why I'm in my program. I really like it because it's a combination of design and data science. And I mean that in like, it literally is a combination of both. So it's data science, there's AI, there's also design, including ethical design and all of that stuff, UX research, blah, 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 which I really like because it gives me the opportunity to remain in the UX space and then also explore data science, which is one of the top areas that came up for me every time when I was thinking about doing a career transition. I find it very exciting. I think for me, one of the things is I'm not even sure if I want to keep working in tech, because I mean for the past couple of years you can see that the tech industry has been in a kind of weird flux, and I don't know if like in the long term that is a great space for me to be in. I don't know, but as of now I'm starting to like question whether I want to remain in tech, and also if I want to remain in tech, in what kinds of roles. I decided that one of my major frustrations with UX research is that you do a lot of work, and sometimes depending on the kind of team you're in, what is happening, a lot of that work does not get implemented into like a real life thing because some stakeholder who is what we call a hippo just wants to do whatever they want, or somebody just wants to do whatever they want and ignore the research and all of that, which is very frustrating. Imagine doing so much. And also there was one time where I did a research project on just one thing for a company, just one thing for like 6 months, and then they killed it. They were like, oh, we're no longer launching this product. And it's very frustrating. It kind of feels like seeing your life you've wasted so much time and energy on something that never saw the light of day for reasons outside of your control, which is the thing that is frustrating. If it was because of me, it was like, okay, yeah, I don't want to say again, then I guess it is fine. But it's like somebody else is making the decision about the outcome of my work, and that was very, very frustrating. So yeah, that's why I was thinking like, what things am I interested in that don't have that problem basically. And because I spoke to a couple of people, spoke to like some people that I consider mentors, and then spoke to people who were in certain roles that I was interested in, and the one that kept coming up more and more often was data science, data analyst, data engineer, those kinds of things. And I am interested in data science and all of those things. I find it very fascinating. But the thing is, before, like, I had this whole crusade about how you don't need to learn how to go to work in tech, which is true. But now I actually find that I'm actually enjoying this, because why did I start learning Python at the beginning of the year? Just because I was so curious and it was just interesting. I didn't have any big reason. And now that I'm in this program doing data science, it seems really relevant and really interesting. And I was like, oh, I could actually see myself doing this. Like, honestly, interestingly enough, the most enjoyable part of my program so far is the data science and the AI part, where I'm actually doing that kind of work. I find that to be very interesting. So yeah, in terms of potential career change for me, that's something I'm looking at. This is not something I've spoken about very widely and publicly. I don't know why, because my whole thing is always tell people what you want. But maybe because I'm not 100% sure. But really, what I want to do is I want to explore. I want to see what that is like in a the list. I don't know how to put it in proper English, like in a way that takes the least risk, like a small, like a prototype version. Do a prototype version of what does it look like for me to be a data scientist or a data analyst or a data engineer. The data scientist part, it will come through in my project, because I'm actually going to have to build a machine learning model by the end of my program. So that part, I'm going to get practical experience with it. I'm not sure about how I'm going to get practical experience with the data engineer part, and even with data analyst part, I'm going to get practical experience with this in my program as well, because it's a very practical program. Like, we've been doing a lot of the amount of Python code I've written in the past 8 to 12 weeks is insane. But yeah, so that's one side. On the side of, if I remain in tech, what does that look like? On the side of, if I don't remain in tech, what does that look like? I've been feeling more and more interested again to go back to psychology. When I was in secondary school, I wanted high school or secondary school, I wanted to study psychology because I wanted to become a therapist, and that was always my plan until I actually went and started studying psychology. I was like, oh, I like social psychology more. So now I don't know which one, but now I've been thinking more about clinical and counseling psychology, especially given the fact that over the past couple of years I've been coaching people, and there are quite some similarities which I've talked about previously on some episode of this podcast. And so yeah, I've been thinking about that side of things more and more often, and saying, like, what would that look like for me to practice psychology, be a practicing psychologist, or a clinical psychologist, or a psychotherapist, or whatever. And that's also something I've been considering again. I don't know where to start with that. I probably need to do a master's to do that, because, like, last I checked, which was a while ago, to be fair, you can't just go and start practicing psychology with just a bachelor's degree. You have to do, like, master's and practical and things like that. So that seems to have a higher cost or barrier to entry than data science for me right now. Well, who knows. Then a third thing I'm considering that could actually work in, whether in the tech industry or outside, is teaching. I love teaching, like, love it, and I've been told I'm really good at it. Like, when I was in Unilag in university for my bachelor's, I taught like 2 or 3 classes, not like in school, but like as extra. I tutored people basically on the topics that we were doing in school that needed extra help. And also, even as a UX researcher, I've taught a lot of workshops and classes teaching people how to do UX research. And every time everyone's like, Lady, you're such a great teacher. And I actually do enjoy teaching. I've always enjoyed teaching. So that's also something I'm considering. And that kind of also goes to my third option, which I already started talking about, which is remaining in academia. Maybe go to a PhD, maybe become a teacher in a university, or like teach a class in a university. I don't know what that would look like. But yeah, these are the 3 main areas that are coming up more and more for me as I think about what do I want to do for the next 10, 20, 30 years of my life. Because UX research, actually, I really like doing research. I love doing research. I love learning new things. I love the process of doing research and all of those things. But in practical terms of doing the work, especially towards the end of the, like, towards more recently, I've just become more frustrated and drained by the process. And so maybe I feel like maybe I need to do something different now, but I don't know. But those are some of the things I've been thinking about. And yeah, that's it for today. Let's go for some number facts. For context, today is November 6, 2024, the 311th day of the year. And there are 55 days left to go in the year. Today is episode 310 because I started on the 2nd of January. Okay, number facts. Right, 55 is 11 times 5. I really wanted to do that, but no, really, 55 is the 10th Fibonacci number, like the 10th number in the Fibonacci sequence, and it's also the sum of the numbers 1 to 10. So if you add 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 to 7 to 8 to 9 to 10, you get 55. I didn't have any fun facts for today in history, so that's really the only fun facts for today about the number 55. Thank you for listening. See you tomorrow if Jesus tarries. Bye. Thank you for listening to today's episode of A Couple of Things. If there was anything you found interesting or insightful, or you enjoyed the episode, please do share to someone or multiple people. Like, leave a comment, and definitely do subscribe and all the nice things. Bye.